April Fool's Day, the day of trolling and pranks, and Clash of Clans 2 has participated in its fair share of shenanigans. From fake update announcements to wacky gameplay changes, here is every prank the developers have pulled on the community throughout the game's history.
Let's do this.
The very first of these occurred in 2014, where a content creator, Chief Pat, sat down with Jonas, a developer from the team, and talked about the next update. Now back then, Clash of Clans didn't really upload anything other than commercials, and so this was the best way to reach the community, you know? The conversation starts out pretty normal, and then Jonas announces the level 5 Valkyrie, which is supposedly what the community was dying for. It wasn't just a new level though, it was completely reworked. So now she was massive and also targeted several buildings at the same time. But the funniest part, when she was defeated, she'd take almost half the village with her. Like she had a really big death damage radius. But that's not all. They also said that the Valkyrie was now a core part of the game, so we should expect more updates like Valkyrie tournaments, Valkyrie XP, and customizable Valkyries, whatever all that means. And the cherry on top, they announced a Hog Rider nerf, which was at the time when hogs were very meta. It was now way slower and tiny. But that's not all for 2014, because that same day, they also put out an announcement for Clan Wars. Now, a little bit of context, Clan Wars hadn't been announced yet, and so this was them trolling before announcing the real thing. A content creator, Simon Tay, said that he snuck out a super secret slideshow from Supercell HQ, which contained more info about this update. Like the game was going to be renamed to Clash of Clans, and we were going to be fighting against clans for donuts. And if you're wondering, this is a real game in the slideshow. It's The Simpsons Tapped Out, which actually had a Clash of Clans update months later. Whole different topic, but I just thought you might want to know. Anyway, yeah, that was it for April Fool's 2014. The next year, in 2015, they partnered up once again with a couple creators like Chief Pat, announcing that the Archer Queen was getting reworked. He explained during a visit with Supercell, they were discussing ways to fix the Archer Queen's AI, because it seemed like she would target walls 75% of the time, you know? It wasn't consistent, so they fixed it by making her target walls 100% of the time. She was reworked into a wall buster. No more inconsistencies, and she would only target buildings when all the walls were down. Basically, a wall breaker queen. On top of that, she also now dealt 500% more damage to walls to stop her from getting stuck on them. Supercell had also announced that you can now steal gem boxes, and so over on Galadon's channel, he had a sneak peek of this feature. You could see barbarians attacking the gem box and stealing the gems, dropping a bunch of lightnings to steal them that way as well, and you can now also move them and have more than one. Some nice little quality of life changes, you know? But there's more. On their social medias, they posted a pretty typical got a clan post that they used to do. But if you zoomed in on the image, there was a new hero altar. Now, it's hard to tell what it was supposed to be. A popular theory was a goblin king or a dragon king because of what seemed like an egg near it. But none of that mattered. It was a troll and there was no new hero. Just the next year, in 2016, they uploaded a video for a new product, introducing the official 2016 Clash of Clans desk calendar. And it was exactly that, a calendar with a bunch of Clash characters dressed in swimsuits. At the end of the video, it was said that it was coming soon. However, obviously when you realize what day it was, you didn't think it'd actually come out. But it did. It had a very limited print, so only a few were made, and they were given away by creators in the summer of 2016. So this was months after April Fool's. The calendars are incredibly rare these days, but Supercell did release some of the images from it years later. Thanks, Supercell. I was wondering what they look like in high quality. We also got another creator prank by Galadon once again, in collaboration with developers as usual. They announced a new kind of gem box, the Mega Box, or what it appeared as in-game, the Gem Super Box 3000. This was a huge gem box that could only spawn in the dead center of your village, so you had to clear the space for it. And when you finally got one, it took 1 million elixir to remove and 1 year to open, and you couldn't cancel it, so you had to wait for it for a whole 365. But at least it gave you a boatload of gems. Now, it doesn't seem like anything happened in 2017, but in 2018, they were back at it again. A video titled "Coming Soon, the Clash Cap" was uploaded by the official channels. The video follows a CEO of a fictitious company named Blank Slate, and he goes on to explain they partnered up with Supercell to develop a new mind control headset for Clash. The Clash Cap, which would allow controlling Clash of Clans with your brain for a hands-free Clash experience. Now, the video goes on to show a demonstration of the Clash Cap, but everything goes wrong. It's quite a long video, but I'll play a few highlights from it.
I want you to donate a baby dragon. I want you to drop a troop and a healer.
I don't think it's...
Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty incredible.
Obviously, unlike the Clash calendar, this one was not real. But other than that, nothing huge happened. Just in the Clash of Clans forums back when it existed, the backgrounds were changed to Heyday. But that was it for 2018. Probably the smallest one of these was in the 2020 April Fools. So a little bit of context, they had just reworked the home village scenery. It had basically remained the same since 2012, and they wanted to give it a refresh. That refresh included adding the waterfall back, and that happened on March 30th. Because the scenery was still brand new, Supercell did a little trolling and posted this. Rumor has it that if you stare at the waterfall long enough, once in a while, you might be able to catch a glimpse of a shroop bathing in the waterfall lake. Now, them giving credit to someone else might seem like a dead giveaway, but no, it just seemed like they were giving credit to someone who found the Easter egg, you know? And so people actually went into the game to stare at the waterfall and see if any troops appeared in the water, but obviously that was the joke. There was no troops bathing in the water. Next year, they were back at it again. Now, I'm gonna give you a little context once again because I feel like this really explains the joke and why it was funny at the time especially. So there were a lot of leaks floating around of some doghouse looking building coming with the next town hall. Obviously, we now know that that is the pet house, but back then people were speculating that we're gonna have some like dog or cat living with us in the village. The community was kind of right, but what better time to poke fun at these speculations than on April Fools, which was just around the corner. They made a post with a trailer saying, "Forget about Town Hall 14, this is the update we've all been waiting for. Introducing Clash Pets. Now you can take your queen and her dog for a walk." Here, I'll play the whole thing since it isn't that long.
Are your heroes feeling a little lonely? Could they do with a friend? Introducing Clash Pets. Barbarian King just loves his Loki. Grand Warden's wonderful Wendy. Archer Queen and her terrific Ted. Royal Champion's most excellent Edgar. Get your hero Clash Pets today.
Interesting fact, the King's Loki was community manager Darian's cat, which had recently passed away. He said that he tried to get the actual Loki for the video, but he couldn't find a picture of him in a good enough pose, so they used a generic image of a cat. Anyway, I'm wildly off topic. Let's move on. Nothing happened in 2022, they often skip a year at times, but in 2023, they would upload a video titled Extra Special Episode of Clash On. Clash On, as you know, the main developer update videos where they announce new features. The first of these was an auto bot which handled the base for you. It would collect loot for you, train your troops, change your layout, basically removing the need for you to play the builder base at all. The next feature was a 24-hour day and night cycle. The builder base would be dark at night and bright during the day. However, this cycle would be locked to the time zone in Finland, so if it's nighttime in Finland, you won't be able to see squat. The next change coming to the builder base walls, instead of walls being 5 tiles long, this is how they were before the builder base 2.0 update, they would now be 10. So now you can only make variations of square bases. And finally, the last feature announced was Clash AI, which would do in-game whatever you wanted, but it has some issues.
Clashy, please perform a pro-level Queen Charge Lalo attack with a guaranteed 3-star victory.
Understood. Spamming mass goblins.
Clashy, analyze recent performance in my clan and please remove the worst performing clan members.
Confirmed, Darian. Leadership of your clan has been taken from you and given to a random person. You have been booted from the clan.
Wait. No.
Unlike some of the past April Fools, none of what was in this video became a real thing, obviously. And in 2024, they'd upload a similar video, this time called Our Biggest Update Yet Is Here, which covered a lot of new features that were being added. The first change discussed was to walls. They felt they weren't expensive enough, and even after adjusting the price a few times, it still wasn't enough. So they changed it to cost developers lives and apparently world peace. A rune of gems was announced, which was a rune that gave you 50,000 gems. However, you can only get this rune two different ways: buying it in the trader for 50,000 gems or getting it for free once a year starting on February 29th, 3002. Which is a day that doesn't exist. But I mean, who cares? It's 1,000 years away. They also announced a rework and some changes for the Electro Dragon. First, they were removing the hair sweeper completely. They made the dragon immune to all damage for the first 15 seconds. Its chained lightning would hit more buildings. Its staff damage would destroy all buildings. Training time reduced by 50%, and a reduction to its housing space by 5. Yeah, quite a long list. Then, the second half of the video, they started to rapid fire some gameplay changes.
Buildings destroyed in battle will now remain destroyed, and you'll have to rebuild them at the cost of their current level.
If builders have unionized, they now will take small breaks when feeling too tired. And you need to feed them at least once a day.
At the end of each season, the resources you have earned will be taxed by the Goblin Builder. We have decided to replace all builders with Goblin Builders.
You get to challenge the Goblin Builder to a fight. If you win, he won't charge gems. But if you lose, he'll start charging double.
The words global and chat are now banned and can't be typed anymore. Go ahead, try it.
This was definitely the most popular of all of these, sitting at over 30 million views. It definitely fooled a lot of players. I think it was that rune of gems on the thumbnail. Doesn't look like there was anything in 2025, but finally in 2026, they put out an April Fool's social media post. Heads up, Chief, we missed a few important changes and fixes in yesterday's maintenance, so we'll be having another one soon to address them. Thank you for your understanding. In the meantime, here's what you can expect. And yeah, it's a long list of wacky changes. 99% 1 stars will now earn you 0 stars. You can now rotate your base mid-attack. Decorations now have health and can be used as walls. Clanmates can spectate and give live criticism. Your clan can now also vote to kick you mid-attack. Electro Dragon's housing space reduced to 5. Rush spaces are now used as tutorial attacks for new players, and fixed a bug causing Archer Queen's shoes not to be displayed. But yeah, that was it for this year. But yeah, that is every Clash of Clans April Fool's prank that the developers have pulled on the community. I originally made this video in 2023, but I have gotten many requests to update it since then, especially how I missed certain things. And so yeah, I felt like it was long overdue. But hey, before you go, use some things to like this next video, so check it out. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!